Another heavy rainmaker on the way, what it means for the North Island. Auckland Mayor Wayne Brown called out over media drongos text, and why David Seymour's worried about the Battle of the Chris's. Ata Maria, I'm Cherie Kinnear, and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. Many Aucklanders will be working from home this week as the city hunkers down for more heavy rain. Red heavy rain warnings are now in effect for dangerous heavy rain in Northland and northern Auckland from early this morning and the Coromandel Peninsula from this evening. Orange heavy rain warnings have been issued for the rest of Auckland and Bay of Plenty. Auckland remains in a state of emergency with many roads still closed and schools being asked to delay the start of their term until next week.
What a red warning means is expect even modest or an amount of rain to produce flooding quite quickly, exacerbate slips, and in addition, that's different to this event, we also are on wind watch for Northland and Auckland.
Meanwhile, driving remains potentially hazardous in many parts of Waikato and the Coromandel Peninsula today. A part of State Highway 26 is likely to remain closed. On the Coromandel Peninsula, State Highway 25A remains closed due to a major collapse, with traffic being diverted along gravel roads until later notice. Mayor Len Salt says people should avoid non-essential travel and be proactive.
If you live in a house that's in a slope area and the door starts sticking, or you notice changes in the building that concern you, let us know.
Back here in Auckland, there are fresh questions for Mayor Wayne Brown over communication with those affected by flooding and slips. It's been revealed he sent a WhatsApp group message about having to cancel tennis to, quote, deal with media drongos over the flooding. Experts in communications and disaster say it points to a relationship with the media that doesn't reflect the needs of those living in a disaster-struck city. There's been extensive criticism of Auckland Council's communications on Friday. And in other headlines, two new polls released overnight show Labour has surged ahead of National since Chris Hipkins took over as Labour leader. In both polls, Labour is up about 5 points to 38% and National is trailing by about 1 point. But David Seymour, whose ACT party remains steady on about 10%, says he fears the Battle of the Chris's will distract attention away from important policy debates. And National is calling for long-term tax relief as one of the government's temporary relief measures comes to an end. The 36% discount to the road user charge introduced by the government last April, part of its transport package, will be removed from midnight tonight. The fuel tax discount will also be phased out at the end of next month. National Transport spokesman Simeon Brown says the government needs to provide long-term tax relief rather than temporary measures that don't address the underlying issue. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more stories and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.